Your habits can literally change your life. It can remove the bad habits and create new paths in your life that can lead to greater things. This can have a huge impact on your physical and mental health, but also your relationships, self-esteem, and productivity. But like many of us, you might have struggled to build long-lasting habits that you can stick to. So today I'm using science-based evidence and my own experiences to give you some tips to help you stick to your habits. Hi, my name is Asma and welcome back to my channel. I speak about self-development, health and wellness, and travel. So if you're interested in these topics, then hit the subscribe button and like. So before going into how to create habits that you can stick to, let's cover some of the reasons why you might want to either get rid of your habits or create new ones. It's a way to achieve our goals and aspirations, and it's also a way to get better at things that is important to us, like playing a musical instrument, for example. And so with repetition and having a consistent routine, you'll create a habit of this routine, and you'll also get better at the musical instrument that you're trying to play or learn. So my first tip is make it simple. So what do I mean by that? When you first get started, choose something simple and choose something that you can stick to. So make it simple. Choose something very minor as well. So for example, if you want to have a yoga routine and you want to start doing yoga every day, instead of doing it for 60 minutes a day, start off by doing yoga 10 minutes a day. 10 minutes is something achievable because anyone can carve out 10 minutes out of their day. Whereas if you said, I'm going to do yoga for 60 minutes a day, it's going to be a lot harder for you to stick to because your body and your mind aren't used to doing this activity. So in your day, it's probably going to be harder for you to carve out 60 minutes out of your day rather than 10 minutes a day to begin with. So instead, try doing yoga for 10 minutes a day and then start increasing it as you go, and this will make it a lot likely that you'll stick to your habit. So tip number 2 is give it some time. So this is really important because you want to give yourself enough time to build a lasting habit. If, for example, you start doing yoga for 2 weeks and you stop doing it after 2 weeks, it's a lot harder for you to form this habit. And this is because your body or your brain hasn't got enough time to process it all and form it into a habit. So Philippa Lally, a health researcher, has actually shown that it takes us around 66 days to form new habits. But obviously it'll also depend on your personality and your personal circumstances of how long this might take you. So if you feel disheartened, I don't think you should, because you can actually twist this into a positive and see it as an inspiration. Because if you've been trying to form a habit, now you can actually understand that, okay, you should give yourself enough time and be compassionate with yourself to form this habit. And I'd also say, no matter how small or big the habit is that you're trying to create, give yourself at least 66 days to make this into a habit, instead of just giving up after, 2 weeks or so. And if you make mistakes along the way, don't worry, it's just a journey, it's all about the journey. So be compassionate with yourself and try again. As James Clear, the best-selling author of Atomic Habit, puts it, you don't have to be perfect. Making a mistake once or twice has no measurable impact on your long-term habits. This is why you should treat failure like a scientist. Give yourself permission to make mistakes and develop strategies for getting back on track quickly. Tip number 3 is be specific about your goal. This also kind of links into making it simple. When you are specific, you're more likely to stick to those habits because you know exactly what to do. And this ensures that you're going to repeat the same behavior on a regular basis. For example, if you want to meditate more, or if you want to start meditating, it's not enough to say, I will meditate often. So you want to make it measurable in some ways. So instead of saying, I will meditate often, say, I'll meditate every day for 10 minutes. So this makes it clear because each day you'll know exactly what you need to do. it gives you a time frame and how often you'd like to do it. So when you start building that habit, for example meditation, you'll know exactly when and for how long you'd like to meditate. And on top of that, it's going to be even better if you know when you're going to make that time for your meditation practice. So you can say something like, every day before work at 8:30 a.m. I will meditate for 10 minutes. So in my personal life, I really wanted to read more, but I didn't really know how to build this habit into my routine because I thought I didn't really have much time. Until I carved out the time and was specific about the goal, I said to myself, I will read every night before going to bed for at least 30 minutes. For me, this was the best time because I usually remove any distractions and I'm left with no other choice than pick up a book and start reading. I've also put my book near my bed, so it's a lot easier for me to grab it and start reading it instead of reaching out to my phone. So I've removed any sort of friction between me and building that habit, which is reading in this case. So tip number 4 is set up your environment for success. So there was a guy who questioned the way we usually set up our living room or living spaces. I don't remember what his name was, but he questioned why our couch always faces the TV. And in his case, he actually removed the TV completely so that his 2 couches were facing each other instead of one couch facing the TV. So when the couch and the TV face each other, we're more likely to grab for the remote control and start watching the TV because there's not much friction between me and trying to watch the TV, which is the habit that I'm trying to get rid of. So in his case, as I mentioned already, he actually removed the TV completely. So I'm not saying that you should also remove the TV or remove the distraction because it might not be feasible for most of us for a number of reasons. But what you can do is set up your living space in a way that it's harder for you to start watching the TV. For example, you can completely remove the remote control or switch off the TV from the main outlet. This is what I've done, and put the remote control out of sight. So every time I want to watch the TV, I have to find the remote control and also switch on the TV from the main outlet. So it takes me a lot longer to watch TV. But I've also done the opposite with forming a good habit. For example, like reading a book. I've made sure that I remove any friction between me and reading the book in the evenings. So I've placed my book close to my bed so that I can easily reach out to it whenever I'm ready to read the book instead of reaching out to my phone. Just a side note, my phone is usually not even close by. It's either on the floor or somewhere far out of sight. So tip number 5 is have an accountability partner. This is probably something most of us can relate to because when you want to go to the gym, for example, and your friend joins you, it's a lot easier for you to go because it makes it a bit more fun. You know, you chat on the way to the gym, or even in the gym you start catching up with each other and so on. So when you're trying to form a good habit or a new habit, or if you're trying to get rid of any bad habits as well, you can have an accountability partner. So you can let your friends and family know. Maybe you can even do the habit together with your family or friends. And if you don't have an accountability partner, if your family or friends don't want to do it, you can still let them know and make them ask you about it on a regular basis so that they hold you accountable to it, and find a way to give them daily or weekly updates on your progress, because that will hopefully keep you going with your habit as well. So just to wrap up the video, make your goals simple and easy to follow. Choose something you can stick to and gradually build up that habit into bigger goals, like doing yoga for 10 minutes and then gradually increasing it to an hour or 2. Allow yourself plenty of time to build habits and don't give up so easily or so quickly. So according to Lally's research, it takes 66 days to form a new habit. keep that in mind. And set specific and measurable habits. So instead of saying I'll meditate often, try saying I'll meditate 10 minutes per day in the mornings. And then lastly, it'll massively help you if you have an accountability partner, someone who can hold you accountable and someone you can speak to and give regular updates, because hopefully that will make it more fun as well for you and your friends and family. And if you want to go even further into habit formation, you should definitely read Atomic Habits by James Clear. I'll put a picture here. It covers the 4 laws of behavior change and teaches you how to get rid of bad habits and create good ones. It's quite an easy and quick read, so I'd highly recommend. I'll put a link in the description below. So that's it for today's video. If you like this video, you might like this video here. Thank you for watching. Consider hitting the subscribe button and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.